Hello. On today's video, I want to just go over a few things about the ZM-R7220A. And the 7220A is the smallest and the lowest priced split vision BGA workstation we have available from ZM-R. And compared to the larger stations, the upper heater is the same power. The lower hot air heater is the same power. So on most of your components, you won't have any issues. The 7220A has a smaller area heater, where it's a ceramic area heater, and the 730A has a rapid heat cobalt heater. So if I'm doing really thick and large boards, it's nice to have the rapid heat cobalt heater. But on most boards, if you're doing boards under 15 inch or so, you don't need that much heat. But again, the larger machines have robotic vision systems where you can move the camera and view the perimeter of the BGA at full zoom. On the zoom out here, we have a stationary vision system. So when you're using chips that are larger than the field of view, you can't align the corners. You'll have to base your alignment off these solder balls within the field of view. So for what we're doing, we have a Samtec connector, and since the Samtec connectors have pins on them, and we really don't need to use the split vision system to put on a Samtec connector, we can just line the pickup tube towards the little pickup tab on the Samtec connector. Let me see if we can zoom this in here. So I'll turn this light off here. We can zoom in a bit. And there's our Samtec connector, and that's our little pickup tab they put on the connectors. So we just bring our pickup tube lights, our connectors here, our pickup tubes here, and you just move it into place and center it. And so for this machine, for installing and removing Samtec connectors, it's fine. I got it lined up. I can select my sequence. Press start. It's going to go down and pick up the connector. If we're doing a VGA component like this, we can zoom in. See how our tabs are lined up to the pads? So we can zoom in, zoom back out. You get the idea. I'm not going to be able to zoom in on these outer pads. I'll have to, if I want to line something up, I'll have to align it using the not so magnified image. The Z7220A, it's pretty simple to use. It runs, a lot of stuff runs on a joystick, so I can move it. My zoom in and out runs by the joystick. My manual camera up and down runs by the joystick. So it's very easy to use. So we'll just close that. We'll select our alignment OK. And it will go down, and it'll run the profile and refill the component, no problem. It uses the same style heater nozzles as the 730A, the large machine. So the only, like I said, the only difference is the robotics. So I'm going to stop this for a minute. We just change out the nozzle. I'm going to show you a demo with the 35mm component. And we'll bring this over here. Zoom it all the way out. And let's bring our 35mm component over here. There we go. Put our nozzle. We can see that's our component. Is more of a gold in the gold light, and our nozzle is the blue light, and our pickup tubes is there in the center. We can zoom in a little bit if we like. Basically, I just want my component centered in the nozzle. What I'm going to do, I'm going to close that, press start. We're going to go pick up our component again. There we go. So with the 35mm component, we can pretty much see everything pretty clearly to line it up. So I can see my pad here next to my ball. I'm going all the way down. It's a little bit off on the z-axis, so I just adjust it. And then once I'm comfortable that they're all straight up and down, I can just zoom in. And I can line up the component with the center balls. So basically, that's just how I'm going to line up my component if it's without a robotic vision system. Let me zoom out. Looks like you're off one row here, so we're going to bring this down. Go back in, fine tune it. That looks good. Once we're comfortable with the placement, we're just going to go ahead, like we did before, press our alignment OK, let it place the chip. And again, I'm not going to run the profiles on these are just for demos, but it's going to place the chip and it'll run the profile. This machine has the same side view camera as the ZM-R7220A, so we can confirm our placement with a side view camera if we want. Let's just say we're doing a larger one. This is a 52mm component. We're going to use a 55mm nozzle. I'm going to pull that out. Zoom all the way out. And so the field of view on this machine is about 65mm. So we've got plenty of room to see up to larger components. Okay, so we got that in place. You're starting to get out of your field of view. Once you start getting over 50, once you will start going over 55mm, you're going to not have the field of view of the edges. Right now, we're centered in the nozzle. So let's just go ahead and press start. There we go. So this component isn't for this board, but just so you get the idea, if we're doing larger components, we're going to be basing our alignment off the center balls. And if we zoom out, once we start getting over 55mm, we cannot convert this outer area. So I would say this machine is probably best for doing 50mm components and under. You can do a little bit larger, it just gets a little bit trickier and it's not as easy as it is with a robotic machine. So there are pros and cons, but I would say this machine is better for components under 50mm.